This is for you, Kings fans, wherever you may be. All the frustration and disappointment of the past is gone. The 45-year drought is over. The Los Angeles Kings are indeed the kings of the National Hockey League. They are the 2012 Stanley Cup champions.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to a midday live right here on Dime Dropper, and we are live from Los Angeles as always. And today is another day where we discuss an injured player for the Clippers, and this is a season-ending injury for the Clippers, and it is not too big of a surprise. Although the fact that he's out for the season is a bit of a surprise, but him being out and having injury issues is not a surprise. Bradley Beal has been reported as of today from Shams Charania out for the season with a fractured hip. So I want to apologize to Bradley Beal for the comment I made in the vlog. If I'm not mistaken, I think I said something along the lines of like, he takes a charge and he gets hurt. So, I mean, I do apologize. If he actually fractured his hip, that's fucked, man. This is very unfortunate. Classic Clippers. But here's the thing, Clipper Nation. I want to tell everybody this. Bradley Beal should have always been looked at as a luxury piece. Like somebody that we didn't necessarily need super badly. It was just somebody that we had. And we didn't pay that much for him. We were paying him $5.5 million a year. And we didn't trade for him. So it's not something like, of course, Paul George or something that we gave away picks for, anything like that. Or even, you could say we gave up Norman Powell, but we gave up Norman Powell for John Collins. Bradley Beal was just kind of insurance that, oh, you think we lost Norman Powell? Well, we got someone that can do different things. But here's the thing. Part of me, and I could be dead wrong on this, part of me thinks that this might have been not the worst thing in the world for us, because it's been a headache with Bradley Beal starting and getting a minutes restriction. You see what I'm saying? You're starting and there's no discussion about it. You've been promised a starting spot upon arrival and you have a minutes restriction that we have no timetable for when that's going to get lifted. So it was hurting our team. You'd have Bradley Beal like against Phoenix the other night at Intuit. 8 points in the third quarter, catching fire, getting a little momentum, and then he's out the whole fourth quarter because he's hit his minutes restriction. That, we don't know how long that was going to last. And it was painful. It was detrimental to the team, in my opinion. And then you also have Brad's laziness on the defensive end, that he didn't look like he was all that talk in preseason that Ty Lue was saying, oh, when he guards good players, he'll step up or whatever. Dude, you should be working hard as a defender all the time. It should not be based on who you're guarding and all that stuff. You need to be doing your part if you are serious about winning at any high level. Doesn't matter if you're guarding the best part on the court, if you're guarding the worst part on the court. Now, by the way, just before we continue, I just want to remind everybody that super chats are turned on. If you want to drop $1 or a dime, any donation is appreciated. If you want your comments read every single time you comment, become a member. I also did a members only live, and I'm doing one every single Wednesday, so you can come interact on screen with me. We had my boy Danny on here earlier today. He came and we did a whole breakdown of watching every single Ivica Zubac's post up this season. Locked On has given me access to Synergy this year, so I can actually pull up those plays. So we literally watched all of Zoo's post ups and to see what's the difference. And we learned some very interesting information that I'm going to be talking about on Locked On. But again, also I'll be doing a giveaway at 25 members for Laker fans and for Clipper fans, a separate giveaway, one for each, and at 50. So becoming a member, you also get to support your boy. I get to read all your comments. And if you're a fan that goes to Clipper games, you will be able to skip the line at games if you want to get post-game interviews. So those are all the perks to becoming a member and early access to merch when we release it. This episode might or might not be on Apple Podcasts and Spotify later. We'll have to see. But yeah, guys, this is the only problem I have with the Beal thing. We pledged too much of our team identity to him to start this season. Like Ty Lue constantly is talking about how big of a part of the team he's going to be and how he can do so many things and how, oh, Brad's not back. Brad's not healthy. There's no reason, especially with the fact that he's missed 29 games last season and the season before, there's absolutely no reason that Bradley Beal should be an integral part of anything that you're doing in 2025, 2026 as a basketball team. None. It's like he's a luxury piece. I'm sorry, we saw Bradley Beal's losing tendencies in Washington towards the end of that tenure. I literally did dime dropper post-game lives and timestamped them. Obviously, much lower quality than now. No streaming service, no good camera. But I did post-game lives for the Washington Wizards 2020-2021 season. And the difference in that season was Russell Westbrook getting healthy and then changing the entire energy of the team. Bradley Beal was very good, but his 30 points felt like the most ineffective 30 of anyone I've ever seen. Now, granted, that's not, if you are good enough to average 30 points, especially on any sort of playoff team, you are great. I'm not saying Bradley Beal wasn't great, but his effort level was questionable. And then in 2022, he basically looked like he gave up on the Wizards. 2023, more of the same. The fans wanted him out. And then in Phoenix, he quit in game 4 against the Minnesota Timberwolves and got in foul trouble. And then like he just laughs about it and stuff. So for me, Bradley Beal is not serious. He's made a ton of money. He's had a good career. So I don't think this is the end of the world. I actually think this makes it a lot less of a headache. People are talking about, can we cut him? What's his whole deal? Like, guys, I wouldn't even worry about that. We'll see about what we do at the trade deadline or if we try to make moves. But right now, Bradley Beal's situation is this. We're going to go to Law Murray because he usually has the goods when it comes to this contract sort of stuff. My man, shout out to Law. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there we go. Right on cue. Shout out to Law. I'm sure there will be conversations about what Clippers can do roster-wise to account for Beal's season-ending injury. I don't see hardship exception being used immediately, if at all. Young guys have started to play. I think he's just going to be on the roster. He's just going to be on the roster. And then his contract, let me just double-check that because I believe that his contract is 2 years, $5.5 million. Yeah, 2 years, $10,975,700. So he has a player option for next year, which he'll probably opt into. So I think the Clippers are like, it's $5.5 million on the books. You know, we're going to try to bring him back next year, no matter what worst case scenario. Shout out to the super chat. Taku Tuesday says, I'm more of a casual lurker, but I really love watching your vlogs of the games. Thanks for keeping me entertained while at work. I really appreciate that, man. That is very nice of you to say. I try my best. That's all I can say. And shout out to all the fans that feature on those videos. But anyway, guys, now I think it makes it so much easier for Ty Lue. 10-player rotation, but it's not going to be 10 players. I think we're going to play one of Bogey or Chris Paul. But you know what? With the lack of shot creation that we have and the level of, we need to make James Harden's life easier. I think we just got to double down on Chris Paul and Brad Beal. I'm sorry, not Brad Beal, Bogey. If they're shit, then we'll bench Chris Paul and we'll trade Bogey at the deadline. We need to have a larger sample size than like 5-7 games, to take these guys out of the rotation. So I think we just got to live and die by them a little bit more. Our roster was built a certain way. We got to take the L on it and then make Lawrence Frank look bad. We can't just go against it. I know the data's really bad with Chris Paul, but we can't just go against it like that. Shout out to another super chat. AGXJ4ZY says, keep up the good work. Hope we get someone good. Are you guaranteeing that we're even going to get someone? Like, guys, here's the reality. This is how we're going to respond to this. 10-guy rotation. If you want to remove one of Chris Paul or Bogey and add Cam Christie in there, you should. Kobe Brown, I know he had a good game. I would play him maybe another game with Kawhi out in this game against Denver tonight, which I will not be at, by the way, because I have a men's league game, and it's very important, and I would not miss playing basketball if my team is needing me for a Clipper game. No offense. But I hope we win. We're battling a 5-game losing streak, so we got to get it done. But by the way, people are asking other questions about other things. That's not important right now. We're talking about Bradley Beal. So Kobe Brown, though, in my opinion, long-term is not the answer in the rotation. Jordan Miller, I don't know. He needs to come back. But Cam Christie, I think, could deserve some more run as an actual rotation piece. He just looks the most like an NBA player of these guys. Outside of Yannick, but I just don't think Yannick's going to take Brook Lopez's spot. But Yannick has potential. But I think Cam Christie. So here's what I'm thinking. Starting lineup, new starting lineup. James Harden. If it's a Zubats, that goes without saying. John Collins, every game. No situational bullshit, every game. Kawhi Leonard, and either DJ or Chris Dunn. I'm still so indecisive on who I'd like starting there. But honestly, I'm going to lean towards Chris Dunn because we then will have a bigger guy off the bench that's playing alongside Bogey. And Chris Dunn just adds this energy to games. Like Derrick Jones Jr. does what he does really well. He plays solid defense, great in transition, finishes around the rim really well. But Chris Dunn does these things, whether it be dive for a loose ball or get a steal that you just don't expect him to get or crash the offensive glass, that really energize the crowd. And I think that might be valuable in the starting lineup. It also is just a good thing in this sense, Clipper Nation. We've had problems with our defense, 26th in defensive rating the last I checked. We can check that right now. This now lets us go more into, okay, Chris Dunn and Derrick Jones Jr. are going to play 25 to 30 minutes every single night. In Derrick's case, he should probably play like 30 to 33 minutes every single night. And then we might become a better defensive team again. Now we don't even need to force, because here's the thing about Beal. He was always going to be in and out of the lineup. So honestly, it's just better if we're trying to be serious to not have someone like that in the lineup. Kawhi Leonard is the exception because we've learned, unfortunately, that just comes with the territory with him, that he's just not going to play that much, and there's always might be something. However, the reports say that he shouldn't be out for too much longer. He's just going to miss the next couple of games. What does couple of games mean with Kawhi? I'm not even going to bother trying. But the reality is we were able to win the game or win games last year without Kawhi. The difference was we had Norman Powell, and now we're losing Bradley Beal. So you can't replace Norman Powell scoring with John Collins. So now we're back to, can this team actually succeed without Kawhi Leonard anymore? Because last year we had Norman Powell. Chris Paul, even if he turns it around a little bit, I don't think Chris Paul, Bogey, we had Bogey last year, so let's take him out of the equation. I don't think Chris Paul, John Collins, and Brook Lopez can replace the way Norman Powell played last season. I don't think they can. And I'm talking about the Norman Powell that we got for the majority of the season. They can't. So then it makes Kawhi much more valuable again. And this is the problem with our team. And it's been the problem with our team since we got this guy. If your first option is one of the most unreliable players in the team, and you have to essentially build a roster that has to be able to stay above water without him, and that source of it is a 36-year-old with as much mileage on his body as damn near any player in the NBA outside of LeBron and Chris Paul, I guess you can say, you're not a top 3 seed. You're not a serious team. We're not. So let's just drop our expectations if Kawhi's out from now on. It's not the same as last season anymore. There's nothing to say about it. We don't have Beal. John Collins is a different fit. Why did we pick up John Collins? Because it makes life easier for who? Kawhi Leonard. More than any particular player. You can argue Zubats because he gives him a little backside help. But the whole thing was we want Kawhi to guard the threes. We want Kawhi to be on the wing more. We don't want Kawhi to have to rebound as much. We don't want Kawhi to be the low man as much. So it's a replacement around Kawhi. It's not a replacement for Norman Powell. And now that the replacement for Norman Powell is out for the season, Bogey needs to play. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. but we don't have a roster without Kawhi Leonard that is going to have the same value as last season. It's going to be able to do the same things as last season, just unless Chris Paul goes ape shit and turns it around and starts playing like last year. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we can get a better version of now, but he is what he is. So top 3 seed, let's throw that out the window. That part of the season's over. Championship, if you had those expectations, that part of the season's over. Let's not be ridiculous anymore. At this point, what are we hoping for? Top 6, make the playoffs outright, have another year of playoffs basketball into a dome. Maybe Kawhi's healthy for it. Like, I'm not going to fake it. I'm not going to fake it and act like this shit is good. Like, this shit is not good. It is what it is, though. Like, I'm done caring about the Clippers and results until we lose Kawhi Leonard and James Harden. I just don't think we're going to go anywhere with them when it comes to anything serious. We're just a pseudo contender. So at this point, I'm enjoying my life. I got my school tryouts today for my 8th grade team that I've coached for 2 straight years. And this is going to be a 3rd. It's going to be special. I got my club team. We got a games this Saturday. Like, I'm living life, dude. When you lose your house in a fire that's heard around the world, you don't really care about the Clippers anymore. And I also had checked out in terms of winning and losing. I've checked out. Until we get rid of Kawhi, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. It's going to be a bunch of pseudo shit. And even if we're worse without Kawhi, when we lose him, at least we're going to be building towards something. So we got to look at Denver tonight, right? Denver tonight. I'll be live after the game. Actually, no, it's going to be really late. I can't lie because I have the men's league game at 9:15. So we can't even do a midnight live. It's going to have to be a tomorrow afternoon thing. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll go live to talk about the game. And then hopefully I'll have watched another Laker game as well, because I've been really lagging on those recaps for the Laker fans. So yeah, by the way, guys, again, I see all the comments. There's just too many of them right now. 130 people are on YouTube. If you want me to read the comment, super chat or become a member. And you guys can interact on stage with me if you become a member. But I just don't have all that time anymore. Now, let's go. This is special difference. Special comment I just read because that's somebody I know in real life. Anyway, if you're on Twitter, by the way, please come to YouTube. I'm trying to get to 14,000 subscribers. So anyway, that's it for the Clippers and Bradley Beal. Guys, this is the rotation. Harden, Zoo, Collins, Dunn, and Kawhi. When Kawhi doesn't play, I guess we got to start Bogey, man. We just got to start Bogey and go 3 guards. And just because Chris Dunn and John Collins are bigger, they can handle it. That's what we got to go with. Small ball. It's 3-guard line. Or we can just, and then in that case, we can just put DJ in. So we can go DJ, Chris Dunn, Harden. Yeah, that should be DJ. Never mind. Not Bogey. DJ. You're speaking facts, Dime. Thank you, King Charles. Going to be an intriguing season for sure. I am ready for 2030 in that first round pick already. Thank you, King Charles. Yeah, man. Hopefully we can pivot after this season, though. Purple and Yellow, appreciate you, man. Ask more Cam Christie minutes. I think that's going to be the case. But anyway, now we're going to shift gears. Oh, yeah, the bench. Sorry, I keep getting off topic. The bench. Let's say Kawhi's healthy. Bogdan Bogdanovic, Cam Christie, DJ, Nico, Brook. 10-man rotation. You're going to have to stagger, though, Kawhi and James Harden now, which is fine. We already kind of do that anyway. We'll be good. And then if Kawhi can't create offense with Harden off the court with CP3, that's going to be on him. But we'll be able to get stops, and that might be able to get us in transition a little bit more. And then, of course, we got to play through Zoo and Brook Lopez more. We have to. Now, anyway, let's talk a little bit about the Lakers. I have not watched as many Laker games as I would like, and it's a lot of the reason is because I've been going to so many Clipper games, so that kind of kills my night entirely in terms of watching any other basketball game. And then I've just been very busy, overall. I've just been very busy. However, I made a commitment to all my Laker fans on here that follow me and have built this channel up to what it is and part of my brand of being the home of LA pro basketball, that I was going to do as many Laker games as possible. So I talked about the first 2 games. The game against Golden State, I did a post-game live for that. Bones got busy. If you're in the chat, can you link that for me? And I also talked about the Minnesota game where Luka Doncic scored 49 points. Now, the next game I wanted to talk about was quite the game, and it was something that I could not talk about as a Lakers and Clippers-centric channel. The Sacramento Kings game, the third game of the season for the Lakers, and I'll tell you why this was very, very, very intriguing. No Luka Doncic and no LeBron James. Luka Doncic was out with, let me see what the injury was. Ruled out before the game due to a sprained finger on his left hand and a bruised lower left leg. Expected to be reevaluated in about a week. That was as of then. This game took place on October 26th. So it's been about 2 weeks, but I needed to say something about it. Austin Reeves scored 51 points and had 11 rebounds and 9 assists. And I was not going to lie, pretty impressed with the fact, thank you, Bones Got Busy, for linking that. I was pretty impressed with the fact that the Lakers, even without Luka and LeBron, were able to create enough good shots to score 127 points. Albeit, we know Sacramento's defense isn't good, and Keegan Murray, one of their best defenders, is not playing. He's not healthy. But I think something that really impressed me was the Lakers' energy to start the game. They had the starting lineup was Austin Reeves, Ayton, and Rui, but instead of LeBron and Luka, Marcus Smart and Gabe Vincent. And they added that point of attack defense, that good energy in terms of not even good energy, just two guys that can guard. You know what I'm saying? So to start the game, you had Reeves on Keon Ellis, Rui on DeRozan. So because he's not going to, Rui can contest shots and he's a big body. He's just not very good laterally, but DeRozan's not the quickest anymore. Gabe Vincent on Dennis Schroeder, Marcus Smart on Zach LaVine, and DeAndre Ayton on Domantas Sabonis. Now, for the Kings at this point, all they had done is blown a 20-point lead at Phoenix on opening night, and then they beat the Utah Jazz on a game-winning and one by Domantas Sabonis. So when I watched this game, I noticed the Lakers coming out with great intensity. Although I think the Kings should win this game. Like the Kings, with Luka and LeBron out, they should beat the Lakers. But it was a special kind of night for Austin Reeves. Dennis Schroeder was on Austin Reeves. Keon Ellis was on Gabe Vincent to start the game. Sabonis on DeAndre Ayton. Zach LaVine on Marcus Smart, and DeRozan on Rui. So Dennis Schroeder had the task of guarding Austin Reeves. And boy, it didn't work out great. Domantas Sabonis was in drop coverage. DeAndre Ayton was in drop coverage. And Drew Eubanks was in drop coverage. I thought the Lakers were super engaged on defense to start the game. The rotations were sharp. Ayton did a pretty good job contesting Sabonis at the rim. They were being smart with their coverages, going under the screens with Dennis Schroeder and DeMar DeRozan to make them shoot from the outside. And I thought DeAndre Ayton was aggressive early. He built off that second half that he had against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and he was setting good screens. He was actually rolling to the basket, which was helping Austin Reeves a lot. He had a nice post-up on a mismatch against DeRozan where he went right at him, and he had 2 lob finishes for 7 points in that first quarter. And then Gabe Vincent looked solid on both ends, doing his thing defensively, had 3 free throws on a stupid foul the Kings committed, and the Kings could not play defense without fouling in this game. It was absolutely outrageous. So Gabe Vincent thought he got off to a good start, got a steal, and then Marcus Smart, a dime to Austin Reeves, a strip on defense. But Zach LaVine was carrying the Kings offense and keeping him from getting blown out. I mean, he's the only good long-distance shooter in that starting 5, with Keon Ellis, DeRozan, Sabonis in there, and Dennis Schroeder. So the Lakers went with a small ball lineup again with Vando at the 5 and Rui out there, and they honestly held their own. But DeMar DeRozan finally started getting going towards the end of the first quarter with 3 straight mid-ranges right over the top of Austin Reeves to cut it from a 10-point lead to a 4-point lead. But the Lakers were up 36-27 after 1. I thought it was a very good first quarter for them on both ends. But the Kings answered back with a good second quarter of their own, 35-26, so almost the exact opposite score to tie the game at 62 at halftime. And I'll tell you who started going crazy. Russell Westbrook from 3. And the Lakers inevitably went cold because it's not sustainable for their offense to keep that up without LeBron and Luka. But Russell Westbrook, this dude was draining threes. Tie game at halftime. Very entertaining game. But, all right. Third quarter. This is when the Austin Reeves show started happening. He went absolutely berserk. I mean, pick and roll. He was getting everything he wanted. Floater, keeping guys in jail on his back, knocking down the pull up, making threes, deep threes too. Like you couldn't go under the screen. He had 36 points and 15 assists through the third quarter, and he was getting to the line like crazy. The Lakers outscored the Kings 33-28 in the third. Then in the fourth quarter, he took him home. They were blitzing Austin Reeves, but it really opened up the game for Ayton to make plays. It opened up the game for Rui Hachimura to make plays. Defensively, I mean, the Lakers didn't end up playing too well, but Austin Reeves had 51, 11, and 9, and they won the game. I mean, my goodness, a career high, of course. It was an impressive win. I can't lie. As much as I hate to say it, it was an impressive win. 127-120 for the Lakers. They're now 2-1. I've now covered their first 3 games of the season. We'll see. I mean, I don't think I'll be able to cover every game, unfortunately, Laker fans. I'm sorry. But, you know, with everything I do for the Clippers and then Locked On, it just becomes very hard. And then my personal life. But I'm trying my best, okay? I won't accept defeat until game 20. If I haven't done a recap on every game or I'm not caught up by game 20, then I apologize. But I'm trying my best here because there's always drama in Lakerland, and you guys have really helped me, you know, build up my platform, and it's part of the MO of this channel. So, but by the way, don't get it twisted. For any Clipper fans that are talking like that are newer to the channel, I don't root for the Lakers by any stretch, especially this version of the team. I can't stand this version of the team. I in fact want them to lose every game. Historically, I just didn't grow up hating the Lakers because my family were Laker fans that weren't Clipper haters, and I was taught not to hate on LA teams. So you guys can keep that to yourself. It's not what I'm about. It's not how I grew up. But I hate on this Laker team, damn right. But we make content unbiasedly, and it's brought a lot of people to my channel. And if we're being honest, if I only stuck to Clipper fans, I don't think my channel would grow as much. So, and the Lakers are the biggest fan base in the league. It's just free views for me. And I love watching basketball. Like I grew up watching Laker games every single night because of Kobe mainly, but because it's a local team on television. And I was like, fuck it. If I'm going to watch those games, I'm going to talk about them. So I feel like I have to say that every single time because I have constantly new Clipper fans coming in, and they're like, Lakers. It's like, dude, this is Dime Dropper, not Clip Dropper. If you want exclusively Clippers, Locked On Clippers, but it doesn't really matter. You can not click on the Lakers stuff. And Laker fans, I guarantee you a lot of the Laker fans that follow me don't click on the Clipper stuff. But anyway, that's it for me in this one, guys. I got to get going. But good win for the Lakers there. And Bradley Beal's out. I mean, if you have any questions about Beal, send them my way right now. Super chats, though. There's too much to read. I would love to read all your comments like the good old days, but, brother, I have too much time. I'm not answering any questions unless there's super chats or you guys become members. Because I can't. There's too much, guys. There's too much. I'm not going to read all of them, and I'm not going to just choose which ones to read. It's not fair. I'll give you guys till 2:45 Pacific. By the way, check out the vlog. The vlog is really, really good. By the way, guys, Dime Dropper fam, there's a bunch of you in here right now. I'm about 70 views away from getting all my vlogs to 1K. The Norman Powell return vlog has like 930 views. Go watch that video. It's a really good one. And all the vlogs this season, man, I've been getting Clipper fans' thoughts throughout every single game. By the way, the Dodgers won the World Series. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not taking this hat off, bro. We're back-to-back champs. One of my teams went back-to-back, and we have content on the channel. You guys always see me miserable about the Clippers. If you want to see me hyped, go to those Dodger videos, the parade, the celebration after, the lives talking about the Dodgers. I mean, it's just special. We're back-to-back fucking champs, dog. Talk to us. LA versus the world. We are the city of champions. We own baseball right now. The 2020s, as Kike said, is the LA Dodger decade. You better believe it. All right. Let me link that vlog up for you guys and we're out because nobody wants to ask a question. 1.7K. Let's get this up to 2,000. Why not, guys? Fuck the Dodgers. See if you're all right. There it is, fellas. There's the link. Go watch that video. Actually, no, don't even watch that one. Let's do the Miami one instead. I need that to get up to 1,000. Last season, guys, we had every single one up to 1,000. It's 64 views away. Let's get that up to 1,000. Man, if you want to know about why the Clippers are like why they're struggling and stuff, this channel is like a gold mine for that. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Probably won't be live tonight, but we'll be live tomorrow around the same time. Earlier, actually. No, it's going to be like noon. Clippers, Nuggets, and we'll see if I got Lakers any other game in there. Maybe Lakers Blazers. That may be a waste of my time. Peace.